So AEW's Tony Khan is licking his wounds as we speak, as AEW got crushed by NXT on Super Tuesday. Something that surprised a lot of AEW fans and why they lost so many viewers. But it's what happened after the announcement of the ratings, what Tony Khan was doing. We're going to talk a little bit about that, and we're going to give our thoughts and our feedback on that. Also, we're going to do Fastlane review. And I'm going to give you my thoughts on that pay-per-view. And with WWE, sometimes don't use logic. All their fans don't use their head and see some of the non-logic stuff that WWE does. So we're going to be talking about that and much more on the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. Let's get it on.
Is the moment we've all been waiting for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
So welcome to another episode of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. I am your host, the infamous Ultimate One. And first of all, before anything, let me give a shout out to my boy Knowledge, who from the BX, which I saw him a couple of weeks ago. He asked me to give him a shout out on my podcast. So shout out to you, Knowledge. Always a pleasure to see you. Also, my boy Kenneth Stone from the Dirty Heels podcast. I just saw a bump into him last night, so that was cool to see him, and we're gonna get together. We're gonna do a collaboration coming up very soon for Dirty Heels and the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. Anyways, let's get to the main point here. Now, you guys, if you follow me and you follow me in the audio podcast through Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, and other audio podcast platform, you heard my feedback of what happened on Super Tuesday, which was AEW versus NXT. Now, I was very surprised that NXT crushed AEW. Now, of course, I said pretty much WWE dropped the whole damn house on NXT as far as bringing in LA Knight, The Undertaker, John Cena. Who else they brought in? They have Becky Lynch in there. I mean, Jade Cargill popped out of nowhere, even though Jade Cargill hasn't done her debut yet as far as a wrestling ring. But they brought everybody. Cody Rhodes was the general manager, which he made a match between Dragunov, the NXT champion, versus Dominic Mysterio and whatnot, with LA Knight as a special referee. To battle, if you think about it, to battle AEW, who had, I might add, a good show. It wasn't bad at all, to be honest. And it was, it was a decent show. But what happened? So the numbers came in Wednesday evening and whatnot, and I thought it was going to be closer than what the AEW and NXT ratings will come in. So the crazy thing is that AEW started the night on Tuesday night by having a buy-in, and the buy-in included Eddie Kingston versus Minoru Suzuki, who I saw Suzuki and HOG last night and whatnot, and I was honored to take a picture with the man. That was, top there, to take a picture with that man. And that match between Eddie Kingston and Minoru Suzuki for the Ring of Honor World title was good. So I said, okay, they started off good. But as the evening progressed, they started the show at 8 o'clock. Tony Khan got on the mic and whatnot. He started the show because it was his birthday. And he announced that Rey Fenix was supposed to defend his belt against Jon Moxley. Apparently, Moxley was not clear. Once I saw that, I said to myself, that's not good. That already the show already starting bad for AEW, right? So they announced Ray Phoenix will defend his belt against Orange Cassidy, who had the belt for God. He made like 30-something defenses and whatnot. So right there, I said, okay, they're gonna give the belt to Orange Cassidy, and they had labeled this show Title Tuesday. So all the titles gonna be on the line. So they started off with Danielson versus Swerve. Decent match, pretty good. Hangman Page got involved, cost Swerve the match. We saw Powerhouse Hobbs pretty much destroy Chris Jericho, which we never seen that ever in Chris Jericho's career. So I figure, one, he's putting over Powerhouse Hobbs, one guy that everybody's been rumored that he's going to leave AEW. And he pretty much dominated Chris Jericho. Powerhouse Hobbs is now part of the Don Callis family. I say, okay, that sounds good. The international title changed hands, just like what I thought was going to happen. And Orange Cassidy ended up winning the belt. So Orange Cassidy has the belt again. So now it's going to be Moxley and probably again Orange Cassidy now on free TV. I was like, okay, it's good. Meanwhile, all this is happening. I'm checking out NXT. NXT started off with Cody Rhodes coming up. Pretty much that was a smack to the face to AEW. Here they are, which it never hit me when I first saw it. It hit me like 2 days later. I'm like, wow, NXT started off with a man who was responsible of creating AEW. So Cody Rhodes sets off the show. He announces the Dusty Rhodes Classic, just like I said, just like I predicted, because I'm fucking good at this. Okay, but he also announced that because Shawn Michaels gave him the green light, he is the general manager for the night, and he announced the match where Dragunov, NXT champ, versus Dominic Mysterio, the North American champ, will face off with LA Knight as the special referee. So in my head, I'm saying WWE's going all out. They are trying to talk about squash AEW. So meanwhile, I'm looking at this and I'm kind of laughing because I'm saying they still doing the WWE way, promos. Every time I went to see NXT, there was a promo. So I'm like, what's going on, right? So now here's the part that I felt that AEW kind of like was doing this. And all of a sudden they went down. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I had to go. Whoa. Because Warlord came out. Warlord ended up destroying Matt Sydal. And here's the problem. And, sometimes I get on WWE's ass about creating a wrestler like Omos, made him a gimmick guy. They put him in the ring with Braun Strowman. He loses to Braun Strowman. He loses to Seth Rollins or whatever. And they still were trying to push him. So here's the same thing that AEW is doing with Warlord. Okay? Warlord was an unstoppable guy when he was with MJF. He beat MJF. He squashed MJF. It was last year. They were pushing him for the TNT title. He loses the belt 3 days later. The guy, he held the TNT title about 2 or 3 times. So they pretty much has damaged Warlord. And I love Warlord. You know what I'm saying? But now they're making him look like, oh, he's coming back out. He looks bigger again. And they're trying to fix something that they effed up. So I'm like, okay, here we go. They're going like this. And now they show Warlord 10 seconds destroying Matt Sydal. Matt Sydal is no fucking slouch. They use Warlord to squash Matt Sydal. Matt Sydal is an international guy who's wrestled everywhere, won titles everywhere. Even in WWE at one point, did one of the moves he made there where Randy Orton caught him mid-air, or he was doing a 450 splash on Randy Orton. He was always be known for that. You actually had Warlord beat a guy with that much, credentials. So right there, that was a problem to me. I'm like, okay, they messed that up. So then, right after that, They put the Daddy Magic. Not you know the Daddy Magic was a uh, a promo where Daniel Garcia was checking up on Jericho. So it looks like, you know, Daniel Garcia is going to be in Jericho's side. Who knows? Then we had the Hangman Page versus Jay White, which is a great match, which I think that should have been the main event. Jay White versus Hangman Page. Page lost the belt because Prince Nana got involved and whatnot, right? Then they had the AWA women's, the AEW title, women's title match, which I saw Saraya. I was surprised that Saraya lost the title to Hiroki Shida. Shida, a 3 times, I think she's the only 3 times AEW World Champion. And she had the belt during the pandemic, which was bad for her because there was nobody watching her. Nobody was watching AEW live. She wins the belt, loses the belt 3 weeks later, and now she got the belt again and whatnot. So, and the main event was Luchasaurus against Edge. And that ended up in a whole crazy stuff because I think Edge ended up beating Luchasaurus. And then at the end of the day, you had Danielson get involved because the Christian got involved and a whole nonsense. BCC got involved. It was crazy. And the ending was crazy. Okay. So I just gave you the whole last 10 minutes, just gave you what was going on. Meanwhile, when I went to check NXT, at one point I saw Braun Breaker confronted John Cena, attacked him. Cena went and combated him. Then after the Carmelo Hayes and Braun Breaker match, where Hayes beat Breaker, but then after they beat him, Braun Breaker speared him, talking about he was badass or whatever. And then Undertaker came out. When Undertaker came out, I said, what is he doing there? For what? And whatnot. So after talking to the guys, and then Jason, they told me, well, he took a choke slam and he took it very well. So that shows you that this guy could go in there with the best. I mean, agree to disagree, because to me, it's like, okay, he came and choked some, and now what? Now, anyway, so the next day they announced that NXT beat AEW convincingly. Over 300, I think it was 19 or 312,000. They beat AEW. Now, my first thing I said when I did the podcast, when I did the review on the audio podcast on Thursday was, okay, I'm sure the WWE fans who hate AEW can stand AEW, went and watch NXT, so that added more people to watch NXT and whatnot. You add all these guys who came out, which you got followers that love watching Cody and all that. The fact that Cody started the whole thing was a slap to the face at the beginning, but to end it with what's the guy with the Undertaker was something that I was like, wow, okay. But the convinced win had me saying, okay, all right, they won. But are they going to repeat this again coming up on this Tuesday coming up? But it's not about that. Because if you think about it, my main concern was, why in the hell, we have, why in the hell we have AEW only getting 609,000 views? 191,000 people they lost on Tuesday. Now, everybody's gonna be like, oh, but it was a Tuesday, and that usually on Wednesday. It doesn't matter. They lost 57,000 the week before. Okay, and this is when Edge had first came out in Dynamite. That was the special Christian, F you, what I'm saying? Go F yourself. 800,000. They had 857 the week before Edge popped out, which it was the go home show to Wrestle Dream. And now you lost 191,000 views in 1 week. You can't tell me that between Tuesday and Wednesday you lose that much people. You can't say, oh, but it's a Tuesday, so a lot. Stop. But anyway, that was my thing on Thursday when I said the fact. If you want to check it out, you want to hear that, you go to the Chokeslam Wrestling Report.com and how you call it, and check out the audio podcast on that. But then here's what happened. Right after they announced the whole thing with with the ratings, Tony Khan decided to go on Twitter and start acting like a little girl. And pretty much acting like a little bitch. Okay? And this shows me he's a sore loser. For the simple fact that he went on Twitter and constantly kept tweeting over and over again. Even he went as far as to say that in 2 decades, The Undertaker and John Cena have never been in a show that's been under 1 million views. Now, I mean, the Dave Meltzers and all these Sportkedia, all these dumbasses out there are talking about, WWE is taking that as a declaring war. Stop. You're just adding more stupidity to the fucking dumb shit that's going on the Twitters and Facebook and all that stupidity. First of all, if that's the case, if they are taking it as a declarable war, WWE declared war on AEW even before they got on TV in 2019. So, but anyway, my point is that Tony Khan, instead of taking the L like a fucking man, he starts sending all these Twitters and whatnot and talking nonsense and bullshit. My dude, take the L like a man. You never saw Triple H get on Twitter and start doing the things you were doing as far as, complaining. Yeah, Triple H will take shots here and there and to call them t-shirt company. They're not competition. There's, they're the option or whatever they want to call. He called a bunch of shit. Who cares? But in reality, if AEW just focus on their product, you will not be losing 191,000 people in a week. I don't care what, AEW fans says, oh boy, it was a Tuesday. It doesn't matter. You lost 57,000 the week before. That's almost half of what you lost this week. Okay? That's half of what you lost this week. So how the hell, you complaining, this nonsense. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Like I don't understand. Instead, the man should be focusing on AEW and the brand and try to make it better. Your product. Concentrate on your product. It's crazy. It's crazy as he's too invested in trying to get back at WWE and whatnot. First of all, if you think about it, he went and started explaining why he hates WWE, which I found the excuse kind of stupid, and I don't really believe it, because you're using an excuse that how come you never said anything when this thing happened supposedly. Now, my man's talking about that he made it personal with WWE because while his mom had a stroke, the WWE decided to go after his wrestlers who were contracted. And that's why he says that he hates WWE, because in his moment of a storm or situation he was going through with his mom, that WWE was trying to go after his wrestlers while they were still under contract. I think this is all bullshit. Honestly, I mean, I'm not saying that didn't happen to his mom, but to use that because you can't let go of the fucking phone and tweet and complain after you lost, it sounds stupid, because now to me it sounds like you are a sore loser. You know what I'm saying? Concentrate on the fucking product. Concentrate in building a star, because the way it looks like and the way I'm looking at it, you too, depending on all these wrestlers who already have a name for themselves, but you have not created anybody. You had a chance to create Warlow and make him a big star. But no, you went and catered to fucking CM Punk and whatnot. And what did CM Punk brought you? Nothing. You keep picking up WWE wrestlers that has a history, and they're not bringing you the people you're looking for. Edge, you got Edge, and you got Christian. Edge and Christian are not needle movers. Are not. Okay? Edge is a good, Edge and Christian are a good, pickup because they could help your younger talent. Right now, Adam Cole is hurt. And that's the second time Adam Cole has gotten hurt in less than a year. Okay? And and the storyline between the MJF situation it's gone good. On to then that same night with the thing with the quarters. I mean, they're making a big shit out of this and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even gonna touch that subject because now today people get fucking salty and all fucking touchy about subjects like this. I mean, it's crazy. So now all these Fightful Select, I heard one of the guys from Fightful Select say, oh, they stopped watching AEW the minute the thing with the quarter segment with Juice Robinson. The fucking wrestling, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? It's a storyline. Okay. At first I didn't get the thing with the quarters, but then I remember the MJF did a promo about that. But they're making a big shit out of it. Makes no fucking sense to me. Makes no sense to me. At all. At all. So Tony Khan needs to stop. Get off the damn phone. Okay? Get off Twitter and concentrate on creating a star in your promotion. Stop worrying about fucking WWE and do what you're supposed to do. You got a bunch of talent that you're not using. Where's La Facción and Gobernables at? You did all this promo, nothing is getting done with that. Okay? You gave the belts to Ricky Stark and Big Bill because you know that Ricky Stark's the next guy to leave and whatnot. Cody Rhodes is out in WWE trying to destroy the company that he helped build. And he's going after all his guys. Ricky Stark is next. Who else? I don't even know who was one of Cody Rhodes' guys. But Ricky Stark is a big target. So, if AEW want to get better, your boss needs to get the fuck off of Twitter. I'll tell you that much. Because it's not looking good for him. And concentrate on creating a brand that's it's not bad being number 2. WCW was number 2 for years. Behind WWF. To just fucking concentrate and create a star. Concentrate on making storylines, which you guys are doing well. Get off first of all, he shouldn't even be on fucking TV. Tony Khan should be nowhere on TV making no fucking announcement. Who gives a fuck? You don't think Vince McMahon or Triple H making an announcement every fucking week? And whatnot? He's a fucking goofball. And the more I see Tony Khan and hear and do and see the shit that he does, he's a goofball. You know what I'm saying? Big time goofball. So, anyway, let's get into Fastlane. WWE Fastlane. Let's talk about WWE. Now, WWE had Fastlane last Saturday and whatnot. And pretty much the way I look at this was a freaking Raw or SmackDown on pay-per-view. Because, the Cody Rhodes, they started off with the Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso against Judgment Day. Finn Balor and Damian Priest, the champs. The craziest part is, the first thing that came into my head, I'm like, hold up. Why in the hell is Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso teaming up when Jey Uso was supposed to start a singles run? And the same thing goes with Jimmy. Both of those guys were supposed to do singles run. The rumor going around was they were going to put the brothers to go at it at WrestleMania. I mean, after last night, there's a possibility that could still happen. But here's the logic to it. So basically, what WWE is doing now is they put a belt on Cody Rhodes, which is not the WWF or WWE World title, the one that Roman has. They put Jey Uso to team up with him. So now it looks like they're going to start another feud on SmackDown because now, Cody and Jay are the, undisputed world champions, so they could go to any shows. And as you could saw on SmackDown, where Roman Reigns told Cody, "This is my show. What are you doing here?" It looks that they are now pushing again the spot where you're going to have Cody and whatnot go at the Roman at WrestleMania 40. So either WrestleMania 40, or Roman Reigns losing the belt to Cody at Royal Rumble, because we already know what's going to happen and whatnot. Roman Reigns and versus The Rock. That is definitely going to happen and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? That is definitely going to happen. Yep, that is going to happen. That's going to be a match that I think everybody want to see. Do you really want to see Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns again this year, WrestleMania 40? No, I don't think people want to watch that. Nah, not at all. But so I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, so what's the story with Jimmy and Jay? Why are the team in tag teams when they're supposed to be in a singles? But after seeing SmackDown last night, that pretty much I think that's what they're leading to now. It looks like Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso are going to go after the belts from Cody and Jay. So that's going to probably set up everything to the Royal Rumble. So we'll see about that. The LWO, as you can see, again, before I even start with the LWO thing, Cody and Jay won the belts on Judgment Day. Again, Judgment Day just won the belts 3 weeks ago, and they took the belts away from them. Who is the leader of Judgment Day? Is it Rhea Ripley? You guys let me know in the comments. Let me know in your comments who is the leader, because it looks like Rhea Ripley is the one calling the shots when it comes to decisions. Damian Priest wanted to cash in on the his briefcase, and Rhea was like, "No, you're hurt." Blah blah blah. So she's the shot caller. It looks like in at Judgment Day. So So let's go to the LWO versus Bobby Lashley. Let's call it the Hurt Business, whatever. So they faced off a 2-on-3. Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar were by themselves. Rey Mysterio had said that he was going to make a phone call. That phone call ended up being Carlito Colon. He's back. Carlito is back. And they ended up defeating the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley. Again, if you're trying to make the Hurt Business, this is not the way to do it. You know what I'm saying? Again, this whole thing with the LWO, I see Santos Escobar turning on Rey Mysterio and Carlito helping him. It's just a matter of time. Where we'll see, Carlito turning on somebody. And I think Santos Escobar will be part of that. The women's championship match, Io Sky with Bayley versus Asuka and Charlotte Flair. How many times are we going to watch this? Let's be realistic on that. How many times are we going to watch this with Charlotte again getting another title shot? Why? You know what I'm saying? Why? She ended up taking the pin, which is very surprising to me. But I was talking to the guys, and they were like, I think the Joe Rogan Tabloid had their podcast on Tuesday, which I wasn't able to get in, but I made a comment where I said, why is Charlotte Flair always getting a title shot? And they're like, well, she could leave. She could be like the Brock Lesnar, come back, take a title shot. That's not good. I think that's when I see stuff like that, and people are comfortable with this shit. If you're comfortable with watching a product you love and see the non-logic shit, the woman gets every fucking 2 months a fucking title shot. Why? Why is she getting a title shot? The woman, if it was for Vince McMahon, she'd probably be the 30-time world champion, because every time I turn around, she's in the middle of a 3-way or she's getting a title shot. What the hell? And that's why I say Jade Cargill, her first loss was going to be against Charlotte or Becky. One of those. You know what I'm saying? And they're pushing, they're making Jade Cargill look this big superstar. They better hope that she doesn't fail. That's all I gotta say. But anyway, so that part of when it comes to this match, Io Sky ended up winning, pinning Charlotte and whatnot. In the last week of the match, Charlotte Flair locked the figure 4 lock, figure 8 lock on Asuka. Asuka tapped out, but the referee was distracted by Bayley. This distraction allowed Sky to hit the moonsault press on Flair for the win and the title retention. So Io Sky should stay away from this damage control. And because Io Sky is too talented, she should be on her own and whatnot. I know they had a stupid ass somebody in the press conference asking Io Sky if she would defend the belt against Taylor Swift. The person who asked that question should get smacked. Who allowing these clowns to be in the freaking press conference asking stupid questions like that? Who let TMZ in? Let's be realistic and whatnot. Then we had the John Cena and LA Knight against the Bloodline, Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso with Paul Heyman. This match was definitely boring. And you guys could get mad at me all you want with that. Because in reality, LA Knight's not all that. I don't know what is it with this LA Knight stuff. And not only that, what the beauty of it, it looks, the beauty of it, and something that I always said, WWE cannot wait. They can't wait. So it looks like now LA Knight is going to be the next challenger to Roman Reigns. And we're watching it right now. And I'm going to tell you right now, LA Knight's not beating Roman Reigns. And if that happens, then what's next for LA Knight? If he gets already a title shot, which when I saw that on SmackDown, when Cena said, well, this man deserves a title shot, I had to laugh. Because who he has beaten to get a title shot on Roman Reigns? Come on. You tell me. And his wrestling moves they're not something that wows anybody. Only thing about him is, and this is the difference between AEW and WWE, WWE is all about promos. It's the 55 or 60% of a wrestler, they got to know how to get to the crowd by doing promos. You want to know? Because, again, I'm going to ask this question. Why in the world is LA Knight already getting a world title shot at Roman Reigns? Why? I'll tell you why. Because they don't have anybody for Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns has beaten everybody. And it's not because he's the greatest champion. I mean, I was laughing at these promos on SmackDown when one was telling the other, oh, you're calling yourself the greatest of all time. John Cena is not the greatest of all time. He's not even in my Rushmore at all. He's 16 times world champion because he was in a time when the title used to change hands every 2 months. It was the hot potato era. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have no wrestling. He has had some good matches. He used to have good matches when he first became the WWF champion. The JBL matches and the Big Show and shit like that. But after that, he changed his gimmick to, hustle, respect. What a bullshit. That was it. He catered to the kids. Now he's doing the same moves. They had to give him the belt because he was the face of the company. 16 times world champion. You tell me when of the 16 title reigns he had, which one was more memorable? You know what I'm saying? He's not the greatest of all time. Probably for WWE fans, greatest of all time. Not for me. He's not even in my top 4. Rushmore. Because of WWE, I think Triple H is the number 1 up there, along with Stone Cold Steve Austin. You know what I'm saying? You got the Hulk Hogan, who had that at one point there, and maybe Bret Hart. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can tell me that Bret Hart wasn't a fucking great WWF champion. It's fucking awesome. It's technical wrestling and the whole 9. You know what I'm saying? But McMahon wanted to fucking change it again to the attitude era and that bullshit. That's what he did to Bret Hart, whatever. But anyway, that's not the point. So these guys right now. So again, back to what I was talking about, Roman Reigns, getting the giving the title shot to LA Knight. I don't understand it, but anyway, but that's what it looks like it's gonna happen. But ended up John Cena and LA Knight ended up being Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa. The match was all right. It wasn't all that. It was, I think, the most boring match of the night. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna bullshit you in my fucking platform. It was boring. John Cena took most of the beating during most of the match. Then he did his little babyface comeback, tried to, but he was still trying to tag the corner. And that's when LA Knight came in, did his move, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? So, whatever. Then we saw the Nakamura versus Rollins. I mean, it was I gotta give it to Rollins again. Rollins fighting with that bad back. It's just a matter of time when he is gonna lose that belt. And who is he gonna lose that belt to? You know what I'm saying? So, again, Nakamura and Rollins, I think it was the best match of the night. And again, kudos to freaking Seth Rollins. He did everything. This guy took a beating and a half with Nakamura. You know what I'm saying? Now the question is, who is his next challenger? You know what I'm saying? And real quick, before I already, that's my review on the Fastlane. Again, Fastlane was just not at all that pay-per-view. Not in my eyes. And that's not kicking WWE in the nuts or whatever the case may be, because they usually do a good pay-per-view. This pay-per-view was not a good pay-per-view. It was more like a Raw SmackDown pay-per-view. They didn't need to do this at all. So, but quick, WWE again, and now Nick Aldis now is a general manager. Mind-blowing for me, because they don't want to let him wrestle, I guess. Oh, we'll give you a job in WWE, but you're not going to wrestle. You're going to be a general manager for SmackDown. You can't make this shit up. You can't. You cannot make this shit up. Man with the talent of Nick Aldis. I saw Aldis wrestle in December of last year. I think it was December. Yeah, December of last year. And when I took a picture with him also, and he went to Impact, left Impact, went to WWE, and I'm like, and now I'm thinking, let's say, Nick Aldis is coming out tonight. Come to find out, he's a general manager. I don't know what to do.
www.com.org.
Yeah, I need to be quiet. Unbelievable. That's all I gotta say when it comes to Nick Aldis. I don't get it. I don't get it. So, but anyway, let's go real quick to the news. All the news that I got here. Again, I don't even think I need to read this shit, because he kind of, again, I'll explain to you why Tony Khan became personal with WWE a year ago while his mom was in. I'm not even gonna read that shit. And then Rocky Romero versus Mystico added for AEW Rampage and whatnot. These guys wrestled at Rampage last night, and the funny thing was Rocky Romero versus Mystico has been added or was added at AEW Rampage. The subheading on the graphic for the bar reads Mexico pound for pound champion. Now, funny that currently Mystico, formerly the original Sin Cara in WWE, is current CMLL World Middleweight champion, while Rocky's the CMLL World Historic Welterweight champion. Romero is scheduled to face Akira in a title versus title bout in MLW Slaughterhouse on October 14th. The funny thing out of all this is that CMLL is working with AEW now. And the funny thing is, another funny thing is that Triple A works with AEW. Triple A and CMLL do not like each other. Now, you remember Forbidden Door last year, Triple A or CMLL was complaining that they couldn't allow Andrade to wrestle and the New Japan show Forbidden Door because he was not with CMLL, or he was a Triple A guy. So, I mean, it's just stupidity, but I guess AEW was like, look, CMLL and Triple A, you need to shut the hell up. And if I want to work with you guys, I'll work with both of you guys. And that's the end of that story. So, Mystico, again, who was the original Sin Cara in WWE, faced over with Rocky Romero and whatnot. So, unbelievable. Anyway, the details behind the FTR being squashed by Big Bill and Ricky Stark on AEW Collision. I think I pretty much covered that last Thursdays, but there's more to it. So FTR are no longer tag team champion, which have many questions. The status of FTR. Now, before I continue, there was rumors that, since FTR had trademark CMFTR, that they were going to go to WWE. I had to laugh and I had to check somebody because I put it as a title on my audio podcast this week, and you had a dumbass on Facebook talking about, oh, FTR is not going anywhere, and and CM Punk, I think it was, I forgot what the other stuff, but he was like questioning me and went, oh, WWE NXT didn't double team because WWE NXT is owned by WWE. No, you dumbass, that's the title. You're supposed to put a title like that so you could bring in listenership. It's called bringing in audience, you dumbass. So I had to check them and whatnot. So anyway, so that was the rumor going around that FTR was going to go to WWE because they had trademarked CM FTR and they lost the AEW titles and whatnot. And so, and the fact that the rumor was that CM Punk may show up at Survivor Series, which I think he's still going to show up, even though they're saying that WWE is not talking to him. But so this is the situation when it comes to FTR. They said Big Bill and Ricky Starr beat FTR in less than 5 minutes, with Dax Harwood taking all the offense. Considering the nature of the match and that CM Punk is gone from the company, there were many wondering what this means for FTR. FTR signed to AEW until roughly 2027, so another 4 years. And we're told that things have been fine between them and AEW of late. Originally, FTR versus Young Bucks had been discussed for AEW for gear, but it doesn't appear in the cards. Not only with FTR in favor of the finish, Dax Harwood actually pitched it. So there were some ears perked up regarding CMM FTR being trademarked by Dax Harwood, but several sources pointed out that FTR could use the name outside of AEW or in New Japan Pro Wrestling. FTR have been on top of their trademark since before leaving WWE. There has been speculation that Cash could be injured after Peter Soul in his last match, the last match at Wrestle Dream, and since he didn't take offense, he did hurt his wrist, but they hope he won't miss time. So there you go. That is the reason why they lost those belts, because Wheeler's hurt. So again, IWC loves creating rumors, which is dumb shit. That's crazy. So here's my last one. Swerve Strickland announced for House of Glory Darkest Hour for December 1st. And this was announced while in House of Glory and whatnot. So in recent months, Swerve Strickland has been one of the most buzzworthy starts in AEW. A former AEW World Tag Team Champion is coming off a major win as he defeated Hangman Adam Page at AEW Wrestle Dream. House of Glory took a social media on October 13 and announced that Swerve Strickland will be at the Darkest Hour event in Queens, New York on December 1st. His opponent was not named in the announcement, and the tickets are already available for that. So, Strickland returned to Defy at Defy Primo Lucha on October 13 when he faced El Hijo de Vikingo. He also competed for AAA at Triple Mania 31 in Montreal in April, and in December 2022, Strickland wrestled at Revolver season finale. So Strickland is making a lot of noise, and I think they should keep pushing him because he's doing stuff, man. This guy's a star. You know what I'm saying? He's the star making, and he should be the first AEW World Champion, the first Black AEW World Champion. I'm all for it and whatnot. That'll be great. I mean, he is awesome. He's awesome. So, but that is it for me today, guys. Again, thank you very much for, coming through and checking out my podcast. Again, follow me on every social media outlet on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Most of the time I'm on Twitter. I like just going to Twitter. Facebook just drives me fucking nuts. So, so check that out. Check out my, pretty much my, my t-shirts and hoodies on TCWR veryimpressive.com. That's TCWR.veryimpressive.com. And and also Subscribe to the YouTube channel, guys. That's number one. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that notification bell for new uploads and check out any other content that you have missed in the past. It's all there. You can check it out. And when you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and also on TikTok. I'll put little clips of the episodes that I have. So go check that out. Hit me up. Check out the audio podcast every Thursday. I'm available on Spotify, Apple, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and any audio podcast platform that you guys like to listen to. So let me know how you feel about this episode. Leave me your feedback, leave me your comments, and I will definitely appreciate it, guys. And again, thank you for all the support. Until then, guys, I will see you next week, hopefully with more news. Until then, Top Guy out.